Have you ever felt like you're stuck, like you're pushing as hard as you can to move forward in life, but you're just not getting anywhere? Well, today we're going to talk about a powerful and often invisible reason why that happens. It's like we're driving with the brakes on.
So let me ask you straight up. Are you trying to accelerate towards your goals? Peace, better health, happiness, while your other foot is secretly, maybe even unconsciously, slammed on the brake of an old habit? It's an incredibly frustrating place to be, and trust me, you are not alone in this.
And this all comes down to a really basic law of the universe. It's simple, right? You just can't move in two opposite directions at the very same time. It's like trying to have fire and water in the same bucket. One is always going to win out. The universe just doesn't bend that rule for anyone. And this, right here, is the impossible equation we're all trying to solve. On one side, you've got the accelerator. That's all your desires, right? The peace you want, the health you're aiming for, the happiness you deserve. But on the other side, you've got the brakes. These are those powerful, deep-rooted habits, the need for control, plain old laziness, a stubborn ego, or that constant nagging worry. Pushing both at once, it just doesn't work. Okay, to make this really hit home, let's look at 4 stories. We're going to meet 4 different people who really bring this struggle to life. And as we do, see if you recognize a little piece of yourself in any of them. Let's meet your inner drivers. So first up, we have Vinayak G. He's a retired bank manager, a guy who was used to being in charge, having everything just so. Now his life is totally different, but that deep need to be the manager, that hasn't gone anywhere. And that need for control, well, that's become his brake. And here's where it all goes wrong. His accelerator is a genuine desire for peace at home, for his family to love and respect him. But his foot is jammed down hard on the brake of control. He micromanages everything, criticizes constantly, so what's the result? He's getting the exact opposite of what he wants. He's creating tension, arguments, and literally raising his own blood pressure.
Next, let's talk about Sulochana G. She has severe joint pain, and that's a very real, very tough situation. But you know what? Her brake isn't actually the pain itself. It's the deal she's made with that pain. She dreams of going on pilgrimages and running around with her grandkids. That's her accelerator, pushing her forward. But her brake? She uses her pain as a shield, as a perfect excuse to stay inactive. And the logic here is just inescapable. She has to choose. She can have the habit of pain, or she can build the habit of working to feel better. She simply cannot have a pain-free body and the habit of not exercising. It's one or the other.
Okay, our third driver is Sharma G. He used to be a big deal, a high-ranking official. And the problem is, he still thinks he is. His foot is stuck on the brake of an ego that is completely living in the past.
If you look deep down, Sharma G is incredibly lonely. He wants friends, he wants happiness, but that ego brake is so powerful he feels it's beneath him to just say hello to a neighbor. He's completely shackled to the person he used to be. And the result? His car is going nowhere on the highway of friendship. It's just sitting there, engine revving, making all this noise, the noise of mental stress.
And finally, we have Abdul, a small business owner. Now his brake isn't stuck in the past, it's paralyzed by the future. It's the rusty, grinding brake of constant worry. All Abdul really wants is a good night's sleep, to feel a sense of peace. But what does he do all day? He just feeds his fear, listening to negative news, living in that constant state of what if. And listen, trying to find peace while you're actively embracing fear, it's impossible. It's like turning on a heater and hoping the room will cool down. It just defies logic. So, you see, these aren't just stories. They show us a really dangerous process. Let's dig into what actually happens when you're stuck in this loop. What's the real cost of driving with the brakes on? This quote really says it all, doesn't it? This whole struggle, it's not harmless. When you're pushing both pedals at once, you don't just stay still. You are actively damaging the machine. You are burning out your own engine. And what is that engine run on? Let's call it life energy. Think of it as your own personal and very limited fuel. Every single moment you spend in this conflict, wanting a new result but clinging to an old habit, you are just burning through that precious resource. You're draining your battery for absolutely nothing. All right, we've seen the problem, we get the cost. So now comes the most important part. How do we fix it? It's about turning this whole insight into action. It's time to change gears. So let's make this really personal now. Think about your life. Are you a bit like Vinayak G?
Are you pressing down on that control brake while at the same time really hoping for respect from others? Or, hey, maybe you see yourself in Sulochana G. Are you slamming on the laziness brake, all the while wishing you had a more healthy and active body? Seriously, just take a second and think about this. How much of your precious life energy, your mental, your emotional fuel, have you already burned up in this pointless tug of war? How tired are you from fighting yourself? And look, whether you're 58 or 28, the message here is exactly the same. Life is about moving forward. It's time to stop just revving the engine and burning fuel while sitting still. It really is time to consciously change gears. Now, you can't let go of all of them at once. That's not realistic. So to really get going, to finally feel that forward motion you've been craving, which one handbrake do you need to release first? What is your biggest brake? Is it control? Laziness? Ego? Worry? You've got to name it.
And that brings us right here to the final, most crucial question. Not tomorrow, not next week when things are less busy. Which brake, even if it's just a little bit, will you decide to let go of right now, today? That's it. That's the choice where the whole journey begins.